You guys, we just got some major news regarding the upcoming new Switch in 2021, and it's looking like it is not going to be a mere revision. It's going to be a full upgrade or a Nintendo Switch Pro. It seems like every other day the Nintendo Switch Pro is trending on Twitter, and today we've got yet another trend, and this is also coming from Bloomberg, and it seems like Bloomberg is pretty convinced that the Switch Pro is going to be real. It's going to happen, and it's only a matter of time for it to be revealed and released. So according to Takashi Mochizuki from Bloomberg, he said that Nintendo company plans to adopt an upgraded chip with better graphics and processing for a new Switch model that is indeed planned for the year-end shopping season. And they said specifically according to people familiar with the matter. Obviously, Bloomberg has their sources. There's people under NDA, so we're not going to get the exact source, but obviously take it with a grain of salt because this could be just speculation and rumor. But according to Takashi, they said the new Switch iteration will support NVIDIA's deep learning super sampling, or DLSS. And if you remember my last video talking about the investor article from Bloomberg, this also covered that same exact thing. So this is Bloomberg double downing on the fact that it will contain DLSS and it will get to 4K quality when plugged into a television. They said in the article, and I quote, that this will allow the console, which is also set for an OLED display upgrade, to reproduce game visuals at 4K quality when plugged into a TV. But we also have some brand new information in this article. According to Takashi, the US company's new chipset, or NVIDIA, will also bring a better CPU and increased memory. The DLSS support will require new code to be added to games, so it'll be primarily used to improve graphics on upcoming titles, said the people, including, and I quote, multiple game developers. So this could mean that every single game that's currently being developed for the Nintendo Switch could include the DLSS technology. They might as well get the support working on their games, so whenever the Nintendo Switch Pro does release, they can easily upscale their game on the Nintendo Switch Pro system. The article then goes on to say that NVIDIA and Nintendo representatives have declined to comment. Now, this is a normal thing that happens. Nintendo is not going to be commenting on a system that's going to be releasing in the holiday season of 2021, and that's primarily because the current Nintendo Switch is selling super well, and they don't want that trend to stop. A lot of people are buying Nintendo Switch consoles right now, mainly because their availability. Let me know if you've bought a Nintendo Switch recently. I guarantee I'm going to get comments of people who are like, I'm not ready for a Switch Pro because I just bought my Nintendo Switch console, which is super unfortunate, and that is why Nintendo needs to ensure that both consoles have parity to some level, specifically in regards to exclusivity. If the Nintendo Switch Pro console has exclusive games that are first party, then it's going to anger a lot of people. I think it would be fine to have third-party exclusives on the Nintendo Switch Pro console, but they cannot make this mistake for their first-party games. The article from Takashi Mochizuki goes on to mention that analysts expect the new Switch will be offered at a higher price than the current model's $299. According to Bloomberg's Matthew Canterman, they foresee an increase as much as $100. They said, and I quote, $349 will increase the value proposition of the device, but I still think Nintendo can drive a strong demand even at $399. It's not very often you see reporters and journalists double down on a piece of information if they're not very confident in its validity. And with all of the leaks and rumors for the Nintendo Switch Pro or the next revision console, it is pretty much all but confirmed. It's one of the worst kept secrets in all of the gaming industry right now. I don't know about you guys, but I'm currently at the point where I just want Nintendo to announce the thing already. Give us a price, give us a release date so we can have something to look forward to for at least one thing this holiday season. We know Nintendo is going to have a big year this year because they have literally said that they're going to have a big year. From all of the KPIs that they've set for themselves, I don't think it's going to be possible for Nintendo to hit those goals without the Nintendo Switch Pro system and Breath of the Wild, or at the very least one game from their mainline franchise. Honestly, there's only one big problem that I see with the Nintendo Switch Pro system, and it has nothing to do with the resolution of the OLED panel or how DLSS is going to work or exclusive games for the Nintendo Switch Pro. It all comes down to the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. If Nintendo doesn't release revised Joy-Cons that are better than the current Joy-Cons, then I'm going to be extremely upset. One of the biggest issues that many consumers have with the Nintendo Switch currently is the Joy-Con drift problem. How do they expect me to play a Nintendo Switch in handheld mode when the Joy-Cons are completely broken? If Nintendo doesn't fix the Joy-Con situation and the drift problem, then it's going to severely hinder the console's growth. Or at the very least, consumers are going to get smart and they're just going to stop using the Joy-Cons and they're going to start using a Pro controller with the tablet. That's the only thing that I want Nintendo to fix. If they fix the Joy-Con problem, then I will be extremely happy. Granted, I'm still going to get the console anyway because I'm super excited about a Nintendo Switch that has upgraded graphics, a better CPU, that has the capability of upscaling graphics to 4K resolution on my television. But even if it doesn't go full 4K, I still want to be able to have that performance upgrade for future titles and improve on on previous titles that currently struggle on the Switch, for instance Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I completely put Age of Calamity down after an hour of playthrough because I could not handle the frame rate issues. I don't know if it was just my console that was messed up, but I was having severe frame rate drops and it was just kind of killing the experience. And I really hope Nintendo decides to upgrade previous titles like that game to improve the graphics and make it so it's a playable experience. And the fact that I also want to see Breath of the Wild in all of its glory to be upgraded on a 4K television. After playing Zelda Breath of the Wild on 4K 60 FPS on CMU, it's really hard to transition back to the Nintendo Switch version after playing CMU for so long, but I still do because I love that game nonetheless. Whether the console is $350 or $399, I am still going to pick up the Switch Pro because I am super excited to experience a new iteration of Nintendo Switch consoles. And that's only if I can get my hands on it before these scalpers do. Guys, let me know if you plan on buying the Nintendo Switch Pro console or the revision. Are you excited for it? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel with your notifications on, and until next time, this has been Wes, and I will talk to you on the next video.